Number 13, Michael Mole says, hi, Pastor Mike. In John 21, it is written that Peter caught 153 large fish, and although there were so many, the net was not torn. Is there a message or a theme John was conveying here? Michael, there has been a lot of ink spilt from people trying to figure out why there were 153 fish in John 21. Now you didn't specifically, highlight the number, but you did mention it, so I'll just mention this. We'll go to the passage here. So this is the last appearance in the Gospel of John, and the theme is, let's back up and just give you the theme. The theme is the restoration of Peter, ultimately, right? Peter has denied Christ. He weeps bitterly. He didn't just flee like the other disciples. He openly denied Jesus. That is such a huge deal. It is such a huge deal. So after Christ's resurrection, he is getting reinstated. Mark hints at this when the angel's like, go tell the disciples and Peter, right? That he's risen, that he's going to appear, and you'll see him. And so and Peter, there's this sense in which Peter's being restored, I think. So John 21, let me just read the whole passage. After this, Jesus revealed himself again to the disciples by the Sea of Tiberias. And he revealed himself in this way. Simon Peter, Thomas, called the twin, Nathanael of Cana in Galilee, the sons of Zebedee, pardon me, and two others of his disciples were together. Simon Peter said to them, I'm going fishing. They said to him, we will go with you. They went out and got into the boat, but that night they caught nothing. This is similar to an experience they had earlier when they first met Jesus. Or at least when they were first called. Just as day was breaking, Jesus stood on the shore, yet the disciples did not know that it was Jesus. Jesus said to them, children, do you have any fish? They answered him, no. He said to them, cast the net on the right side of the boat and you will find some. Again, this is like a mirror of what they went through before. So they cast it, and now they were not able to haul it in because of the quantity of fish. That disciple whom Jesus loved therefore said to Peter, it is the Lord. When Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he put on his outer garment, for he was stripped for work, and threw himself into the sea. The other disciples came in the boat, dragging the net full of fish, for they were not far from the land, but about 100 yards off, which is why they probably didn't recognize Jesus. When they got out on the land, they saw a charcoal fire in place with fish laid out on it and bread. And Jesus said to them, bring some of the fish that you've just caught. And here's the part you brought up. So Simon Peter went aboard and hauled the net ashore full of large fish, 153 of them. And although there were so many, the net was not torn. Okay. Let me just go big picture first, then we'll come back to the 153 fish. Big picture. This is just like when they were called before. It's almost as though this is hearkening back to their first calling, so that Jesus can affirm, yes, I'm restoring you. Yes, I'm calling you. The conversation that they also have after this moment, after they finish breakfast, is where Jesus has this restoration moment with Peter. Simon, do you love me? And he tells him feed my lambs. He goes, do you love me? And then he tells him, you know, Lord, I love you. Tend my sheep. Do you love me? And then he says, feed my sheep. So Simon's being called again and being restored. Okay, there's other connotations here. So Jesus, when he called them, he says, I'm going to make you fishers of men. And initially when he called them, he used the big catch of fish as a way of suggesting a few things. A, God can provide your needs. B, there's going to be a big harvest of souls in your ministry, Peter. Now when he does it again, it's affirming especially the second one. There's going to be you have a big ministry ahead of you, Peter. You feel like you've blown it. You feel like it's, you're ashamed. I'm restoring you. I'm calling you. I'm using you. That's what I take that to be. Some have said the 153 fish, though, are representative of, since they seem to be representative of people coming to Christ, right? Not only God's provision, he can take care of your needs, but also you're going to have a harvest. You're going to be fishers of men. That 153 fish represents the 153 nations in the world. Now, I really liked this. I thought this was great. First time I heard it. Here's the problem. There aren't 153 nations in the world, and the nations in the world change so frequently that it's difficult to give you a number that's going to last any length of time. If I tell you how many nations there are today, a year from now, it might be a different number. And so that's a little bit of a challenge. And it's weird to think that it was talking about nations that none of them knew of at the time, which would be included in that number as well. Others try to do other things with 153. I personally don't know, except to say it was a very large number of fish. They remembered it. There may be a numerical thing going on there, but I have not yet been convinced of what it is. Yeah, there's my